In this video you're about to watch, you will discover some shocking secrets about the Maasai tribe. It has taken me decades to put together the research for this video, and yet I've always lived very close to the Maasais. My father's tribe has always neighbored the Maasais, and even today, my county neighbors the Maasai. So how come it took me so long to put this together? The first thing you need to know is that the Maasais treasure their culture, and certain aspects of their culture are a closely guarded secret. For example, what age mates do to their age mates' wives. It is not unusual to receive a very angry response from a Maasai warrior when you bring up this topic. Stay with me. I will go into great detail about this shocking custom right here in this video. Something else, talk to most Africans and they'll tell you the Maasais are not very smart. And yet, Maasais are amongst the smartest investors on the continent. And several financial and business experts, including a university professor, agree with me. The Maasais are very smart investors. More than any other tribe in the country called Kenya, they understand money and what needs to be done to accumulate wealth as quickly as possible. Now, years ago, on my Kumekucha blog, I did my first article about the great attraction white women from Western countries have towards the Maasai. I've also done a video on the same topic right here on this channel, and I've put a link in the description area below on this video on YouTube. But I was shocked when I started receiving numerous emails from young white girls in the West, and some of them even offered me money. Their request was simple: get me a Maasai warrior. Some of these young girls wanted them for marriage, others wanted them for you know what. I will also attempt to unlock that mystery here on this video. Right, so let's get started. The primitive Maasai tribe, experts in accumulating wealth? Get out of here, Chris. I can already hear some of you shooting back. But hold your horses. Let me explain, and let me illustrate this with a simple true story. Some years back, I lived in a Kenyan city called Kisumu. I lived in this apartment where we shared one night watchman, and he was a Maasai. And I saw the huge opportunity of going very far with my research by befriending him and getting all the information I could about this tribe. I was disappointed. I didn't get very far. Because most Maasai warriors are very evasive when you want to discuss their customs and their culture, especially the aspects I was interested in. But I noted a very annoying habit from this Maasai man. Every day, he would knock on my door and ask for some food. Clearly, he wanted me to feed him every day. So one day, I asked him what he did with his salary. Had he taken out a huge loan that he needed to pay every month? The answer was no. He told me that every month, he would send his entire salary to his family. And then he would survive from well-wishers like myself. About a year later, the company managing those apartments fired all the watchmen and signed a contract with a security company instead. My Maasai friend came to say goodbye, and I was shocked at how happy and excited he was. I asked him if he had found another job. He told me no, he wasn't looking for one. He was going back home. Now, we also had a day watchman, and he hailed from the Kisii tribe. He also came to see me. He was very desperate. He wanted me to assist him to secure another job. He pushed me into taking his mobile phone number so that if I heard of anything, I'd quickly call him. And I regularly received calls from both my Maasai friend and the Kisii day watchman. And those calls were very different. The Kisii man was always begging for money, asking me if I'd managed to secure a job for him. It was a nuisance. In sharp contrast, my Maasai friend was always very excited. And he would tell me that he had no intentions of ever working again for anybody. Let me cut to the chase and explain what happened here. My Maasai friend, I discovered, had worked at those apartments for 2 years and 1 month. And the money he sent home was not for expenses. All that money had gone into purchasing cows. Enough of them for him to lift himself from poverty into a very wealthy man. The day watchman, the Kisii man, had worked in those apartments for 10 years. And he left a desperate man. The long and short of this story is that when a Maasai man gets money from a job they've done, they never think of spending. They think of how much more money they need to purchase just one cow. And from his cows, my friend has daily cash flow, from selling milk. Cow dung is a valuable asset in Maasai land because it is used to construct houses. And Maasais don't need a vet doctor to look after the animals. They're experts in herbs. And so they treat their own animals. And they protect them from wild animals. I know no other community in Africa where people are able to lift themselves up from poverty so easily, seemingly effortlessly. And even the Maasais that never go to school understand money much better than most of us. And what do we call people who understand money? Financial experts. Money experts. That's what the Maasai are. Let me leave no doubt on your mind as to why the Maasais are financial experts. Go to any investment expert and ask them how to invest $40 a month. Yep, the man was earning about Kenya shillings 4,000 a month. That was his monthly salary. And it never changed for the 25 months he worked. That is a total of $1,000, or 100,000 Kenya shillings. And when you see this investment expert of yours, see if he can beat this. The last time I visited my Maasai friend, that's about 4 years after he left his job, he had about 80 cattle in total, worth about $16,000 or 1.6 million Kenya shillings. So, go ask your expert if he can turn $1,000 into $16,000 in 4 short years. In other words, if he can multiply your investment 16 times in 4 years and also give you a daily income. My guess is he won't be able to do it. It can't be done. But the Maasai do it all the time, easily. Imagine coming home after a very difficult day at the office and looking forward to the smile of your newly married wife. And then you find a spear buried at the entrance to your house. If you're a Maasai, you immediately know what that means. Your friend, your age mate, the man you are circumcised with on the same day is having quality time with your wife between the sheets. So what you do is that you take a walk, until he has gone. Yeah. In the Maasai culture, women are for bearing children and doing some work which is not very important to a man, including building your house and of course taking care of the children. To the Maasai, wives belong to the community, not to an individual. The rules are very strict, age mates only. Now, if you are Maasai and you came home and found that spear buried at your doorway, you wouldn't sulk. You wouldn't start feeling jealous. For starters, you'd be able to know who that spear belongs to. And chances are that you'd head straight to the home of the owner of that spear. And also have some quality time with your wife. Assuming, of course, that you're in the mood. Now, I know the question that is burning on your mind. What happens if your wife gets pregnant from your best friend? Well, I can tell you for a fact that DNA test kits would not sell in Maasai land. The children birthed by your wife belong to the community, yes, but they're also yours. And that's the end of the story. They will all carry your surname, even if one of them resembles very closely somebody else. Now, of course, the Maasais are human. They have human emotions. And therefore, one can already see serious problems developing. For instance, what happens when one of the wives is very popular, or is the most popular amongst the age mates? Because obviously, there'll be one particular home which is most popular with the burying of spears, more popular than others. Although romantic love does not exist amongst the Maasai, well, it seems the very strict rules keep everybody in check. Even though we are talking about hot-blooded young Maasai warriors. Now, this is a part of Maasai culture. No Maasai warrior will openly discuss with you. It is a private matter, none of your business. Indeed, some will get very angry when you even want to discuss this issue. Some will even deny it. Although we must note that times are changing. The Maasai are shedding many of their customs, slowly but surely. And so this particular custom may not be as rampant as it was, say, 20 years ago or 10 years ago. Things are changing, even amongst the Maasai. The attraction of white women from the West to Maasai warriors has remained a mystery to many people for a very long time. Too many sophisticated women have been smitten by the simple, some primitive Maasai warriors. So what's the secret? Admittedly, there are many theories, and I believe some of them are partly true. But today, I will reveal to you a very little known secret, that even the Maasai wives from the West will never discuss with you. Now, you need to know that the Maasai circumcise their women. This practice is now illegal in many African countries, but they still do it. This, of course, makes it very difficult for a married woman to enjoy being with her husband or his age mates. But the old Maasai culture got around this problem in a most interesting way. And it is in the way the men are circumcised. A generous amount of flesh is left hanging at the bottom side after circumcision, which enhances the pleasure of both the man and the woman. My many years' research under very difficult circumstances, because people don't want to talk about these things, has revealed that this is a major contributing factor to white women being so smitten by the Maasai that they abandon everything in the West to come live in Africa, in a village, in a mud hut with a Maasai. The story is told of one Maasai watchman who used to have a job somewhere in Nyeri. And he had a European wife. And she was so crazy about him that she would come to his workplace very early in the morning at 5 to wait for him to finish his hours so that she quickly takes him home. Folks, I got confirmation of this story from a very reliable source. It would seem that it all comes down, even when people are throwing around so many theories, it all comes down to very basic human instincts being awakened. Now, if you've enjoyed my video, kindly remember to give me a like. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.